Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okelo. I am really excited to be here in Los Angeles, California. We are here for the Grammy Awards, and the Grammy Awards are literally happening behind us at the Crypto Arena. And I'm privileged to be here with my brother Baba Kuboye, who is an incredibly talented musician and leader from the African diaspora community here in America, but he has deep roots in Nigeria. We are going to talk about his story, talk about his musical career, talk about some of his projects. We are going to touch a little bit on, the LA fire and how that impacted, people like him and me who are in the creative industry. We are going to talk about the Grammy and so much more. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and also leave your comment down below. My brother, how are you doing?
I'm splendid, Simon, especially after that kind of introduction. Who wouldn't be?
Man, it's really an honor that we finally get time to sit and talk.
I know. We've always both been busy. We met around this time last year.
True.
The Grammys when I was on the ballot. Thankfully I'm back this year as a nominee, part of a project that's nominated in a different category from what I do. So It's a blessing. And I've been following what you've been doing as well. So it's been a great year for both of us. So I'm glad that, like you said, we get a chance to sit down one-on-one and talk.
And talk, man. And talk and then document it to our people and the world to also engage with it.
Yes, yes, it's important.
So I want you to take us back a few years ago, whether you want to start from when you're 5 or 10.
Yeah.
I just want you to paint a picture for us of some of the smells, the food, the colors, the sounds that you grew up with that inspire who you are today as an artist.
Wow, that's phrased in a way I've never received it before. But yes, I'll start from the very beginning. I was born into a musical family. And when you say describe colors, sounds, smells, it's difficult because I assume everybody is experiencing it the way I am. But I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. My parents were Afro jazz musicians, Tunde and Fran Kuboye. My house was literally a nightclub because the courtyard in front of the compound was where they set up to have a nightclub. And the house was covered with a curtain, a makeshift curtain, so us, the kids, could not see outside. And of course, the patronizers or whoever came couldn't see inside. So we created that personal space. And that is really where it started for me musically. My parents would rehearse at home when we go to school and come back. They would perform at home, and they were a resident band playing jazz standards, covers, and their Afro jazz music. But then they would have people come like Fela Kuti, like Evie Edna, like Onyeka Onwenu, whoever was on the scene at the time. That was the spot. It really is part of Nigeria's history in music. That was a monumental venue, and I grew up in that. So that has inspired me, and that's my upbringing, but I come from a very long line of community servants and musicians. Going back to my 3 great-grandfathers, so great-great-great-grandfather. He would play conga for the chief in Egbaland in Abeokuta, where I'm from. Then his son, J.J. Ransom Kuti, who I was honored to find a recording of him online that he did in the 1900s. I featured him on my last album, the album that was on the ballot for a Grammy last year in the new African music performance category at the time. And then his daughter and son, who people know of, she championed women's rights. She helped negotiate independence for Nigeria. And she's the mother of my grandmother, and of course also Fela Kuti, who a lot of people know. And then down to my parents, and then down to me. So I'm happy to be able to contribute my quota to the family legacy and continue music that is of substance, that helps speak out for others, and help others heal and grow and pass on wisdom. So my life is a blessing. I feel like I'm a lucky bastard. And, I try and emanate that to people as well, to know it's a beautiful life where you follow your dreams, where you listen to yourself and, and do good for others as well.
Right. I love that. I love that. When you think about, that history, that rich history, the rich musical history that you come from, and then you look at this moment where we are we are sitting literally behind the venue for the Grammys. And then you reflect on African music, you know. Nigerian music is actually all over the world now. In every single household in the world, you have to find an Afrobeat song playing, you know. How does that feel for you?
It's an amazing time to be alive. It's an amazing time to be able to share our music with the world. I'm happy to know and feel and hear that artists are being recognized for their talent. We're exporting our culture for the world to be able to share in it as well. So it's amazing. It's a great time. And linking up with people like you who do the same thing as well. Africa is so diverse in music. Yes, Afrobeat is trending now, and it's from West Africa, it's from Nigeria. But there's so much culture, even within Nigeria. There are about 300 different tribes, let alone Africa. So it's a big melting pot, and you know, there's room for all of us. And I love the fact that, you know, we're flourishing. The world is beginning to see and hear and enjoy what we've been enjoying all this time.
I love that. I love that. So, you know, when you think about your own projects, you know, I've seen you and your band tour. I've seen you and your band rehearse. And it's the same energy that even some of, you know, if you think about it, Femi Kuti, Seon Kuti, and you recently you are touring, you're doing Celebration tour.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Celebration is an amazing tour. It's named after Fela. It's a licensed festival. It was a chance for me to take my music and go around the country with it in the US. I plan to do that in Europe and in Africa as well. Maybe not Celebration, but just to take the music. But Fela is known as the originator of Afrobeat. And as you said, Afrobeat is at a place now where it's becoming more popular in the West. And with the festival that I do, the idea is to show the origination of Afrobeat. The current situation with what people hear and see right now, like with Tyler that won the first Best African Music Performance Award for her song Water. When they called her to accept that award, they were playing Fela Kuti's Water.
I remember that.
So I show the origination, the current situation, and the future with yours truly. So it's a story I take around everywhere I go with the music. And that's been great. I've done Dallas, where I'm based. I've done Atlanta. I've done Houston, which is still in Texas. I've done Denver, Colorado. And honestly, to be honest, you gave me some inspiration with what I saw in Madaraka Festival. And you've been helpful in terms of showing the ropes to me as well of how to navigate putting on a show in different cities. So the idea is to expand on that, the theme of just taking the music. And I don't mind playing other people's music as part of my own. I can perform by myself or with a band. Because sometimes logistically, some people find it difficult to accommodate, you know, and if I want to do it, I do it big. So the band is 10 to 13 people. Horn section, like James Brown style, dancers, you know, the full shebang. So think of it as a production. So it's a great festival. It's a great idea that I want to take all over the world, you know, but you have to grow and start somewhere. And 2024 was when we started. We plan to do more this year as well.
Right. I love that. I love that. Let's talk about your music. You know? When you think about your current music, which is the one song that you feel that this song gives me moves me the most and makes me feel good and accomplished as an artist. You know, as artists, we always wait for people to judge us, to give us compliments, for our songs to go viral. But it's just that one song that makes you feel like, you know, I'm good, even if I stop today.
I used to be that artist where I would wait for external validation. Honestly, with every song I write, I'm happy that if I go today, I've done it. Because music is not from us, it's from spiritual. You're just a vessel. And when it comes to you, so I honestly cannot say I have one song. And as much as people may have different moods throughout a day, there are different songs that captivate the different energies of what I'm trying to express at that point. So I would say for people who want to be familiar with me, my last project will be the most recent for you to go check out to feel the vibe. The project as a whole is called Cultural Canvas. It had 10 songs on that. I cannot say there's one song that can identify or define me as a person that I can say people might have awarded me for other songs.
Yeah.
If that's what you're asking, I can tell you.
Yeah.
But for me to say this is one song out of all the songs I've done, I cannot neglect all my work because they're all very special to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Let's talk about the Grammy a little bit. You've been nominated. Last year you're nominated. This year you're nominated. I want you to talk about your project that was nominated last year, your project that was nominated this year, but also, just speak about the fact that we are at the Grammys.
Yes.
There are millions of artists, especially of African descent, who would have loved to be here right now.
Bro, it's a blessing. I agree. So my story to joining the Recording Academy, I'm a voting member just like you.
Yeah.
But I only joined 2 years ago. I gate crashed one of the side parties that they have. And I met people who were impressed with my music, my style, and they referred me. So I became a member only last year. And I put my first album, the first album on the ballot was Cultural Canvas. It didn't get nominated. In 2023, pardon me. We're in 2025 now, so sometimes I still think we're in 2024.
Right.
But in 2023, I released, that was the back of my EP from Kuboye with Horns in 2022. I had some momentum there with that, which was what impressed the members of the Academy that brought me on board. And it was on that album that I won the Hollywood Independent Music Awards for a song called Kuboye, Best Afrobeats Song. So your question resonates with me because I'm an artist just like anybody else. And it's a beautiful world where don't doubt yourself, listen to that inner voice, follow your dreams, take risks, because dreams do come true. Manifestations of your will do happen. Prayers are answered. You just have to be patient, consistent, and walk in faith. Yeah. Nobody would know that I'm sitting down here today as a Grammy nominee if people who are following my story. 99% of the people in my life are surprised that I'm here. Yeah. But that could be you too. So to answer your question, last year, 2023, I put Cultural Canvas, one song called Soft Life, in the same category that Tyler won. And I put my album in the Best Global. And this 2024, I didn't release an album. I released a single called Aye. And Aye means life in Nigeria, in Yoruba, my native language. And I'm saying that spread good vibes, because good vibes make the world go round. Emiriri means good spirit, like an angel. Be good to others, emanate good spirits. So that was the song that was on the ballot. Now, a few colleagues or fellow musicians in the Academy invited me to collaborate on their projects. Now, one was in country, one was in contemporary blues. And these are genres that are different from what I do in Afrobeat. But I was blessed to be able to say, hey, these are fellow musicians with dreams as well. I would support. So I jumped on it, and that's the record, or that's the album or project that is nominated this year. It's The Fury by a guy from Ecuador called Antonio Vergara. He's a guitarist. He did contemporary blues with his album this year. And, he asked me, we've never met. I'm going to meet him today for the first time. Yeah. But, remotely, he reached out to me. He's a member of both the Latin and the North American Music Academy. And he shared with me his project. And I was like, bro, of course, let's do it. Yeah. And then he got nominated. And because of that, by virtue of that, I'm part of a nominated project as well. Yeah. So I'm blessed. I'm happy to help him, with his dreams. So.
As long as you're willing to help other people, you're helping yourself. Yeah. My mom used to tell us that when you do good, you're doing it for yourself. When you do bad, you're also doing it for yourself. Yes. So that's really cool what you're able to accomplish by helping somebody else. Yes. Now, when you look at the coming year, and even the coming years, what is one project that you're most excited about? Maybe something you're working on that nobody knows already, but it's something that you want to share exclusively on the Madaraka Festival podcast, that this is what's exciting, this is what's coming up,
It's a very exciting time for me.
Yeah.
I feel invigorated. There's so much I'm working on. Yeah. But I've learned, and probably you have as well, sometimes that it's not good to say stuff about things
No. Until it's
until
out.
it's nearly out, because it
Yeah.
affects the momentum of how I want to put the music out.
Yeah.
Not to say that there isn't anything I'm working on. I'm working on a new project and an album. That's standard. As an artist, my goal is to put out music very frequently.
Yeah.
So that's always working. I mean, I can say that without, with a full chest. I'm always working. I'm always recording. I'm always creating music.
Yeah.
When I release it, it's a different story. The festival I was telling you about is something else that's already out there I can share with that. It's about consistency and momentum. So I intend to go on the road again this year. In fact, I have 2 shows in February. I have one in Denver, Colorado on the 15th of February. I have one in Houston. Similar to what I said about, telling a story of Afrobeat. It's Black History Month now. So I'm tying in the legacy of the civil rights and love and legacy, and celebrate that with the culture, with the music. So I'm doing that. As you know, I come from a family of civil rights activists. We use music to speak truth. And so I'll be playing some of that on the road. So that's exclusive to Madaraka, because it's already out, it's being promoted, but that's what I'm going to be doing throughout this year, a continuation of that. And new music as well. Yeah, so that's what I'll be doing.
I love that. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the African music scene.
Sure.
Afrobeat. When you look at Burna Boy's accomplishments right now, when you look at, of course, Davido, Tyler, Wizkid, Black Coffee.
Yes.
I think we are living in a moment where we have more African million-dollar musicians than ever, right? How does that make you feel?
It's great, because a lot of us don't know that we're experiencing growth and change in incremental steps.
Yeah.
It's amazing how, yes, Burna Boy is amazing accomplishment, because he was the first to perform at a Grammy, the live telecast. I think you were there. We witnessed it for the first time, Afrobeat. It pushes the envelope for everybody else.
Right.
To be honest, if he succeeds, or if anybody of African music and descent succeeds, we all do, because it puts you on a bigger platform that people would notice that and then look for more and then appreciate and embrace the rest of us. So it's great that that's happening. You mentioned, as much as I love Afrobeat and I'm from Nigeria, there's so much more music that's coming out of Africa and out of Nigeria and South Africa. There's music from Kenya. Music from
like
Cameroon.
Bien is doing amazing.
There's music from South and East and even North Africa. And Afrobeat is the commercial side of that right now. It's amazing. It's a great place to be in. I'm thankful that I rap, I sing, I play instruments as well, so I can express the music in more than one way. And that is something that I'm excited to share with the audience. So it's a great time. Even for me to be nominated or be part of a project, is because people are noticing Afrobeat and want to work with African musicians. So, yes.
I love that. One thing, though, that I've seen as a musician, especially as an artist who lives in America and goes back to Africa, I feel that while in Africa, many people feel like, wow, you're doing well, you're in America, But when you're here, actually very few people know you.
Yes.
And very few people care,
Yes.
And I feel like it's a delicate balance,
It definitely is. You're right.
How do you manage that?
Great question. I focus on those that focus on me.
Yeah.
It's important, especially when you're growing.
Yeah.
I used to try and get people's attention. And I used to try, like you said, or feel validated from external sources.
Yeah.
But what I have within me, I already know is what it is. So for that reason, I just have to focus on those whoever I attract, I focus on. And with them, it propagates and disseminates. So people in Nigeria, I probably have more of a fan base in Dallas than I do in Nigeria. But people are beginning to, in Nigeria, appreciate what I'm doing here. And I promote and I market back home.
Yeah.
But as I'm based here, I focus on the people here. That's how I'm here today at the Grammys. So,
Yeah.
so that's how I do it. It's very simple. It's not a delicate balance. So,
when you're speaking, I thought about Shabuzi. And I feel like many Africans didn't even see him until he blew up.
Yeah.
But he was probably grinding here in America for years.
Yes.
So I just appreciate the spirit of focusing on those who are seeing you,
Yes, yes.
seeing those who are seeing you, scratching the backs of those who are scratching your back.
Yes, yes.
I love
It
that.
helps you grow. I mean,
Yeah.
if you go trying to chase attention from others,
Yeah.
which is great, yes, it makes sense strategically.
Yeah.
But when you have limited resources and time, for me, I found that I've got more momentum and results
Yeah.
by just focusing locally. If you cannot impact people around you,
Yeah.
you can't impact people overseas, you know. So, and I'm here now. I don't live. I want to be at a point where I can go back and forth like you do. But for now, I'm here. So let me focus on that. And the opportunities are coming. I'm getting calls from back home now. And I'll work on that. But the formula is, and this is for anybody who is trying to do this as well. In all honesty, I'm an independent artist. I'm fortunate to be in a position where I've learned how to grow my music. It's a great time now because you can distribute yourself. You have an immediate connection with your fans. But when people ask me, how do I do it? Focus is such a powerful word that if I could say one thing you need to do is focus. Focus on what you want out of this. Focus on your goal because life will suggest, people will suggest different things. It's okay if you want to have a change, but make sure that as long as what is your goal, that it's aligned with what you do. Then focus on those who focus on you, and then focus on the results you're getting tied to the original goal you had, the vision, the feedback loop. It's an iterative process. And with that, you grow. So I actually left that to the summary of this interview.
I wanted to, well, I'll ask you a different question. You love to give us a summary. Now, we are in LA and people are still devastated by the recent wildfires.
Yes.
I don't know if you know anybody that was impacted, but I just want you to speak about that. How the Grammys, actually, most Grammy parties, pre-parties, post-Grammy events majority are cancelled.
Yes, a lot of things. Compared to last year, as you know, for us who come here yearly, honestly, it's really been toned down. It may not seem that way to a lot of people looking in from the outside, but it has been. Of course, it's a devastation. I do know people that have been affected. In fact, one or two we met earlier on before coming to meet you. And, it's great that community comes together, including the music community. So, and there are lots of initiatives that will probably go unheard of that are being used to raise money, raise, awareness, resources to help everyone that's been impacted by it. A lady that I was talking to downstairs, she broke her arm. She lives in LA. She was volunteering and she fell, but she's here today as well. And, it's community. And for us to still be able to come from outside LA to give that energy of support is great. It tells a lot about LA. So I'm glad it's still going on. I think it's important to celebrate. In life, good and not so good things happen. Momentum is focusing on the positive. And it's been a great year for music. It's been a great year for the industry. So that has to be celebrated, in my opinion. Yes.
I love that. Now, we are getting close to the end of our conversation. And now I actually want to give you time so that you can speak about, as you're walking upstairs to this room where we are, and as you're making the decision for us to have this conversation, I feel like you are thinking of something that, I have to say this when I'm talking to Simon. What is it that is in your heart?
Nothing, honestly. I came from a different interview to come here. And as you know, with these cycles, you show up and, you express everything that, you feel in the moment. We touched on the Grammy, which is the biggest point of my career right now. Thank you for that. We touched on how we met at this time last year with the Madaraka Festival and at our trying to collaborate last year. I just want to leave, I want to say thank you, actually, if I'm going to leave with anything. You're an inspiration. I met you, you didn't know me last year. We met, and for someone who's so accomplished, I love the fact that you're a very calm guy. Simon, you're so calm, it's so infectious. But you're also loving and giving. And I said that before the camera rolls, so I'll say it again. Thank you for what you do for music in general, African music. Even though you're from one particular part of Africa, you have a great vision to do it for everywhere else. And I would love for you to please continue that. May your energy never down, because you stand on the shoulders of others who influenced or inspired you. I'm telling you today that you're also part of my inspiration. So thank you for what you do, and please continue doing it. And please share the wisdom, share the knowledge, continue to share, rather, you know, and yeah, let me know how I can be of support and help, you know.
Thank you,
So
brother.
of course, no, I have to give you energy because you're giving it to me. I mean, we know, I don't know how it is where you're from, but sometimes those who are accomplished have a guard, have a way of, you know, others cannot, they're not approachable, you know, or there's this, I won't say arrogance, but just like, you know, there's a barrier where artists are made to feel less than. But I never experienced that with you. And you're an accomplished guy as well. Hey, so so thank you for that. And please continue to keep the flag flying.
That, man.
No worries, bro.
Please look at that camera and ask everyone who is watching to subscribe to Madaraka Festival podcast on YouTube.
Okay, can I also ask them to subscribe to mine as well?
Of course.
Okay, well, I'll start with you. So please subscribe to Madaraka Festival on YouTube and follow Simon. He's doing some great work for Africa and for music in general all over the world. And if you get a chance, if the spirit moves you, please subscribe to me too. My name is Baba Kuboye. My website is babakuboye.com. That's my name on all my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, even YouTube. And follow the journey. It's an amazing time to be an Afrobeat ambassador. Please share, support, and, you know, listen to my music and, you know, vibe. It's a vibe. Join the journey. Join the vibe of Afrobeat music with yours truly, Baba Kuboye.
I love that. I love that. To everybody who joined us for this amazing conversation with Baba Kuboye, thank you so much. We are live and direct from Los Angeles, California. We are here for the Grammy Awards. And in a couple of hours, Baba, alongside myself and so many other artists, are going to be witnessing history being made today. So I just want to thank you. I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment if today's conversation inspired you, and take great care of yourself. Peace.